What's up guys, it's Kayla
and Jim,
and welcome back to another Meteorology Monday. What are we talking about today?
Why do leaves change their color in the fall? Now, it's very interesting. It could be a number of factors, and we're going to take a look at it in just a moment, but is it based on weather conditions? Is it based on the type of vegetation, tree, shrub? Is it based on altitude? Is it based on latitude? Is it based on attitude?
We're just doing words that rhyme now.
Exactly. And many other words that I really hope I can pronounce later, and don't laugh at me, but we will get there as soon as we... But anyways, let's go ahead. We're going to talk about all these things. How do leaves change their color? But before we get started,
make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below so you never miss the next Meteorology Monday. So in order to predict what kind of fall colors we're going to see every year, we should probably back up a little bit and explain how leaves get their colors and how they change.
each species of plant has a particular pigment in its leaves. The primary color palettes are a result of carotenoids and anthocyanin. You might even say these color palettes stem from... Just saying.
Dad jokes!
Carotenoids produce yellow, orange, and brown colors. Trees such as hickory, beech, aspen, and yellow poplar are good examples of having carotenoid color palettes. Anthocyanin produces red, purple, and crimson colors. Trees such as oak, dogwood, sourwood, black tupelo, sugar maple, and red maple are good examples of having anthocyanin color palettes. So let's talk about a leaf changing its color.
During the spring and summer months when sunshine is more abundant, plants, shrubs, and trees use their leaves to turn sunlight into food energy, or sugars. These sugars are necessary to sustain trees and other vegetation during the winter dormant period. The process of turning sunlight into food energy is known as photosynthesis, which in turn displays the more dominant green color, which is chlorophyll. Both chlorophyll and carotenoids are present in the chloroplasts of leaf cells throughout the growing season. Wait! We need a prop! We need a prop! I'm going to get a prop!
Who knows what she's gonna do?
I have plant! See? Look at chlorophyll. Exhibit A!
The chloro has filled the room.
Stop it. So now we know which chemicals make all the different colors, and we know what happens during the growing season. Now, what happens to the leaves in fall?
During the fall months, sunshine is less abundant due to lower sun angle and shorter days. This combined with cooler temperatures triggers plants, shrubs, and trees to stop producing food energy like it did during the warmer months when there was more sunshine. As a consequence, the leaves no longer produce the green pigment color, chlorophyll, as it did earlier in the year. The chlorophyll, or green pigment, starts to break down, and it does so at a much faster rate than the other pigments. This allows the leaves' other colors to start appearing in more abundance. So there you have some of the processes that occur during the warmer months and then going into fall, what tends to happen there. But let's see, as we continue through fall and as we start approaching winter, what does the vegetation do? As the calendar moves through the fall season, plants, shrubs, and trees must protect themselves in order to survive the freezing temperatures that occur in the wintertime. Shortening days and reduced intensity of sunlight triggers the process of preparing for winter. Stems, twigs, and buds are designed to survive freezing temperatures so they can come out of dormancy the following spring. However, leaves are much more vulnerable to freezing temperatures. The veins of broad, thin leaves that carry fluids in and out of the leaf gradually close off, trapping sugars in the leaf and promoting the production of anthocyanin, the red, purple, and crimson colors. The trapped fluids would easily freeze in winter, so the vegetation sheds them to ensure its continued survival. The timing of color changes varies by species, with some trees and vegetation turning color late summer and others changing much later in mid-fall. Of course, there are always outliers such as elms, in which their leaves simply turn brown, shrivel up, and fall to the ground. Other outliers would be evergreens such as pines, spruces, cedars, and firs. They have needle-like or scale-like foliage covered in a heavy wax coating. The heavy wax coating helps protect the fluid inside their cells from freezing temperatures that occur in winter. These needles do eventually fall, but that is mainly due to old age. So how does weather play a role in leaves changing their color?
Well, there are two weather aspects that kind of play the role in how abundant the colors are going to be, how vibrant the colors are going to be, and that is temperatures and how much moisture was in the soil during the time that the chlorophyll started dying off in the leaves.
So the best color displays actually occur when there's a succession of warm days and cool, crisp, but not freezing nights. And this sets the stage for trapping the sugars in the leaf. The warm days causes those sugars to get in there, but then the cool, crisp nights start to cause those veins to start to close off, so the sugars get trapped in the leaf.
Yeah, and the more times that you have that happen, the more you get these sugars trapped in there, and then you start getting those brighter, vibrant purples and reds. Because the yellow color is kind of always in the leaves, so the leaves are always going to turn to that yellow, but the more of these warmer days and cooler nights you get, the more vibrant the reds are going to be.
Now, however, if there are warmer temperatures, warmer than normal temperatures that are occurring in the fall, it can diminish the intensity of the colors in that leaf.
Yeah, because you're gonna have less days that are warm and cool, and you're just gonna go from summer to winter. So you're gonna go from hot to freezing, so you don't have that kind of fall in between for as long.
Now let's move on to soil moisture.
So if we think back to what we were talking about earlier, basically everything to do with the fall colors has to do with the amount of fluid going in those veins in the leaves. So we're going to need to have a very wet spring and summer to have enough moisture in the soil to carry over through fall. The opposite can kind of happen if we have a drought. What happens if we have a drought?
That's right, so if you have a drought, that would be less fluids or less moisture getting into the leaves, less fluid in the leaf, and so therefore it could impact the color as well because not enough sugars are being produced, and it could delay the onset of the colors later in the fall.
Exactly.
So now that we've gone from summer into fall, and now we're fast approaching the end of fall and leaves are falling off, what happens to all those leaves?
Well, as all good biology things do, it is going to start decomposing and holding in soil moisture and becoming food for little tiny organisms, and the circle of life continues. It grows new trees, and then they go to have leaves, and then the leaves fall again, and the cycle repeats. It was very scientific. As you can tell, I was much more of the physics side of things, not so much the biology.
Yeah, you know, biology and chemistry wasn't our strongest of suits. We can talk about the physics of the leaf falling and at what speed the leaf fell, but in terms of the chemical composition, yeah, we focused more on the physics.
I mean, we kind of did all right with the anthocyanins and the carotenoids and all that. That's chemistry.
I had to look those up. I'll be honest with you. I am no scholar. I had to look them up and have Google tell me how to say it. So if Google's wrong, I'm wrong because I just said what Google said. So if it's said differently, comment below, let us know.
So there you have it, why the leaves change colors in the fall. Comment down below if the leaves are changing colors where you live. Here in central North Carolina, we actually got a pretty good display of the red colors this year. And
all the information we used for the research for this particular video is going to be linked down below as well.
Again, if you like what you saw, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss the next one. Follow us over on our weather adventures, Facebook and Instagram, as well as checking out our website and the School of Weather if you're interested in learning about the basics of meteorology and severe weather, but you're not sure if you want to go to school for it. Both of those links will be down below. Until next time, I'm Kayla.
And I'm Jim.
Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you at the next Meteorology Monday. All right, let's try that again.
Now that I'm not trying to hold in a sneeze and my eye twitching at the same time. Oh my gosh.